Saya cuba tengok di YouTube. Oh, tu.
In the housekeeping, will you be
So ini kita perlu buat apa ini lah, you monitor sini.
Okey, katakanlah dia hilang macam tadi tu, saya betulkan yang itu.
Kalau hilang, boleh sini.
Okey.
Dia nak position mana sini ke sana?
Macam ni. Untuk doa recycle sampai sini dan tepi ni dekat stage. Kita sampai sini.
You nak tolak ni lah. Yang ni you boleh gerak tapi pastikan dia gerak. Jangan keluar. Dia main. Sekarang dah live, so katakan
atau saya main adjust macam itu sajalah.
macam ni lah.
Macam itu saja, tak ada gerak stand.
Macam itu lah. Kita lalu atas ke bawah.
Position okey je. Kalau orang berdiri dekat stand pun masuk.
Ini atas bawah. Ini saya rasa bawah sikit macam ni. So you just gerakkan ni. Lepas tu kalau nak zoom, kalau you tengok satu cewek cantik,
itulah macam itu.
terkeluar. So bila you gerak, benda ni terkeluar tau. So just pastikan dia. Kalau tak ada gambar, you check.
Still live.
Okay.
Boleh. Apa-apa lah saya.
Ada nombor.
Ada.
Dah start ke streaming live?
Dah start kat YouTube.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, test 1, 2.
Tak, tu kat ikan.
Ya betul.
Masuk TV je TV. Yep.
Yang macam tu.
Oh. Okay. Lepas nanti saya cari. Ha.
Ni je.
Okey tak? Cak. Okey. Dia nak tahu kita apa. Okey. Lambat sikit lah sebab dia ada rasa.
Ni tengok fikir.
Macam bola
Oh ni yang kan? Ni yang
untuk orang.
yes, you kan.
Jaga di atas ya.
Boleh. Besar.
ambil satu.
Di fast result.
Ini phone tu tak?
Can we just hold it? Can also if you want to, yes.
Testing, testing,
Yes, that's it.
testing. Good morning.
Okey, Mas. Saya kena tadi. Try.
Good morning. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 1, 2, 2.
Sebab ni tak ada. Sana boleh. Nanti kita ambil tu. Nanti we hold lah. Otherwise, tak ada. How do you pronounce Kogulahan? And let the performer try to make voice. This side. Reading names. All the best, all the best.
bro. How are you? How are you?
That's right. And it was memorable trip. It was very memorable.
Nothing to do. How's the doctor? Good. Wow.
It's always nice to see you.
My God. I saw nothing in the killing games.
Yeah, it's very new. To be honest, first time I saw it. First time I saw it.
Yes, exactly. She did some time with the big section there. He's now in private
Dia kalau kita akan nanti buat sikit-sikit, tapi kalau saya kan mana saya jangan kita dia akan tanya dengan slide.
Tidak, Mike ada isu. Dia tengah berusaha pada somebody have to check.
Thank you.
Sounds like he's a criminal.
Oh, right. So because
see. That's why it's
Okay lah.
on high side. You can recognize it.
Testing. Okay.
If let's say let a bit let it just
Freeze it. That's already an
Dear colleagues, some housekeeping rules. Please make sure that your phone are on silent mode. And if you need to exit the room during the function, you can use the
Dia ni tak nampak semua orang dekat pentas ya. Nak letak sana.
Oh, tak nampak semua orang.
Ha.
Nampak semua orang.
Dia letak sana. Saya pasang bateri dulu.
Dia pernah ambil extension ke macam mana?
Yang tu cabut dulu. Cabut dulu. Tengok nampak tak semua orang stage?
dekat belakang lah. Belakang.
Boleh
Ada di yang
Pakai sekolah.
Sorry. Boleh boleh.
Okey, yang tempat tutup dulu. Itu untuk plan B lah, tapi tak boleh mandi. Kan memang jangan dan tapi
This release it. You want the string with it? Yes. Okay. Why are you here? Why are you on this motion? Everyone switches now. Pressure from the ripping. Pressure from the ripping.
If they are ready,
For the training, they need someone to press that. Yeah, I can pass through here, right? Even if it is working.
Can I suppose this?
Can you hear me now? Yes. So the students are about walking, so I'll get them to go so high. We're going to start.
okay. 2 minutes. Start. I'll bring this.
Yes.
This is again,
Okay.
I'm going in the Sir, not needed for now. See you.
Good morning to the audience who are also streaming live through Perdana University YouTube channel. We'll be welcoming our students soon into the hall. The first school that is in our hall is the passport of the primary school. The second school to enter the hall right now is Perdana University Royal College. Students of Art and Writing School. apply via Perdana University during the time.
Video kita. Kita akan screen match semua. Orang ni. Kalau angle ni cukup kan, kalau nak ambil di sini, kalau nak tembak sini, kalau tak cukup angle harus tolak sini. Ya. Pusing
Dia semua ni main atas ni je. Boleh, boleh. Dah.
May I please request everyone to stand to welcome our honorable guest this morning. May I please welcome our distinguished guests. berbahagia Datuk Dr. Fadlullah Suami Abdul Malik, Yang Berbahagia Profesor Datuk Dr. Muhammad Farooq Abdullah, Professor Anna Mudi, Mr. Michael Monroe, Associate Professor Dr. Jasminda Fong, and Professor Nani Alvinda. Please remain standing. We will now play our national anthem. Honorable guests, parents, and students, good morning and warm welcome to Perdana University White Coat Ceremony 2022. I am Sangeeta and it is my pleasure to be your master of ceremony this morning. To begin our event, may I please call upon Encik Zahid Firdaus bin Zakaria to lead the Doa ceremony.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We express our gratitude to you, Ya Allah, for allowing us to attend assembly on this auspicious Perdana University White Coat Ceremony 2022. O Allah, we ask you for the safety of our religion and the welfare of our body. O Allah, God of the implementing authority, make the days that we've gone through, starting with your mercy, continue with your blessing, and ended with thy forgiveness. And also make the days that we've gone through with guidance and end with the victory of excellence. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, that our efforts as a means to enlighten and convince ourselves that the personal safety of our either outer and inner is a prerequisite for achieving happiness and excellence in various fields. Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram, O Allah, guide us and adjust our ways and paths to achieve happiness and glory. Let us listen to people who like the good deeds and avoid us in the bad and evil deeds. O Allah, bless our life in this meeting and gathering and protect us from harm and unfortunate events. Allahumma ij'al jam'ana hadza jam'an marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'dihi tafarruqan ma'suma. ولا تجعلنا هم فينا ولا معنا ولا من يتبعنا شقيا ولا مطرودا ولا محروما. اللهم اجعل خير أعمالنا آخره وخير أعمالنا خواتمه وخير أيامنا يوم نلقاك فيه. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you, Tizani. A very good morning to our distinguished guests, celebrated students, my fellow colleagues, and also everyone who is tuning in to our live streaming through Perdana University YouTube channel. welcome to Perdana University 2022 White Coat Ceremony. This was supposed to be an annual event, but as we all know, the last 2 years, we had to postpone this event due to our pandemic. This White Coat Ceremony actually is resembling the transition times for our students who move from the pre-clinical years to the clinical years. This year, we are celebrating 2 cohorts from every high school. Students from Perdana University Royal College of Surgeons Medical School, including our students from Perdana Graduate School of Medicine, and finally, students from the Passport Occupational Therapy School. Without further ado, I would like to invite the chairman of Perdana University Board of Governors, Dr. Bahagia, Dr. Fadullah Swami Abdul Ahmad, to deliver this speech this morning. Dr.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Everybody, good morning. Professor Hannah Maggie, Professor Arif, Professor Nathan, Mr. Michael, and the academic staff of Perdana University, dear students. It's an honor and a great pleasure to be back here at Perdana University. At least we are now in a hall that we call our own. Gone are the days when we had to borrow a hall, in Mines for us to have our ceremony. So at least today we are in a hall that we call our own at this Chase Perdana building, where we now have the Perdana University house here. During my years as a student in medical school, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I didn't have all this white coat ceremony, but the messages were still very clear in my mind as to what my lecturers then said when we transcended, we moved from the pre-clinical years to the clinical years. He said, you're going to be a James Bond. Why? Because you now have a license to kill. As doctors, especially, you actually now have a license to kill. You make a wrong diagnosis, you provide wrong management, you will certainly kill the patient. Hence, clinical years would be the years that you learn a lot of things, how to deal with diseases that you see only and you only read in the books that have been that you use as reference, pathology or even parasitology and many other things that you only read and you never see the clinical signs and symptoms. For most, you have about 3 years, right, as a clinical trainee. Thereafter, you will move on to be the graduate, and then you will be a royal loafer for a year education, because you won't get to be a house machine. But nevertheless, I think the clinical years is something that I believe all of us should use it to the best of what it provides. We have our lecturers who will then guide us, mentor us. We learn from your seniors, the housemans, the medical officers, and even the specialists who are also in the hospitals that you will be attached to. Remember, you are going to be a doctor, you are going to be a medical professional, for those in passport. You are here to care for people that will come to you. Learn to be compassionate. Learn how to deal with people who are challenged by the condition that they have when they come to you. Learn, see, observe, practice. Those are things that you need to undertake. Once you have all that, you would probably be a better person, you have better knowledge, and potentially the means to practice thereafter. Medicine is actually an apprenticeship. You learn from your peers, you learn from your seniors, and certainly you also need to learn from your patients. Many a times you don't know what pain is. You know how to describe pain, but you do not know how that pain feels for the patient. Right? We learn about emotions. You read about it, but you probably would not have gone through it. So you can't sympathize, but you could certainly empathize. When you complete your clinical years, you need to be like the Malay saying, like a penny stock. The more you have, the greater the yield is, the greater the humility you should have. As a budding doctor, today you're a medical student, and sometimes in the hospitals that you are at, you're probably the lowest life form. You're no better than an amoeba. Sometimes the nurses will tell you what to do. But nevertheless, that would be a huge exposure for you to learn humility. As a student, you must learn how to question, but question with courtesy. Do not think that you are so big-headed, that you are the best student of the class, or you are a medical student with fantastic grades academically, that you have the right to be big-headed. So you have to be, you must have humility. You must also question correctly so that you learn better. And last but not least, you must be authentic. Be compassionate. If you want to remember a mnemonic, HQA. And today, many of us would be working right through the years. When I was a student, retirement age was 55 years old. Today, we are now at 60 years old. God knows by the time you guys come out, retirement age might be 65 years old. And by then, technology would flourish. Digital technologies would be key in medicine. Aging, you have got to do healthy aging. Prof. Nathan talks a lot about it. And this is where you as the new generation of doctors need to embrace technology. Apart from being compassionate, you need to also understand technology so that you can then provide better management and better care to your patients. So I remember just now, you will be a royal loafer at the end of after you graduate. I would certainly like to advise every one of you to optimize the fact that you are at Perdana University, then look at short programs for you to learn better about technology. Okay. You have the School of Data Science, people who are who would be exposed to all that, to learn a little bit more so that you could then be a better doctor when you become a specialist. You can innovate, better manage your patients. Yes, it seems a long way. Today you say, oh, I'm just getting into my clinical years. What is this guy talking about the time I graduate? But remember, you have a long journey. And this is just the beginning. For all of you who will wear your coats for the first time, and of course the cohort that is who have already worn the coat a year, maybe virtually, since you may not have gotten to the hospitals. Remember that this is your first step, a very big step. To be a doctor who will not be the best doctor, most fantastic doctor, but you need to be the best healthcare giver, the most compassionate healthcare giver to the patients that you can be. With that, all the best to everyone, and thank you again for having me here to share a little bit of my thoughts for this. Congratulations to all.
Thank you. That was Dr. Perdana for the practical and wise words. Now we shall commence to the highlight of the day, the white coat ceremony. We will start this school by school. Now I would like to invite Dr. Christina Liu from Perdana University, Royal College, Sergeant Island School to start the ceremony. Dr. Christina.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sanjita. A very good morning to Yang Bahagia Dr. Perdana Sulaiman Abdul Malik, Chairman of Board of Governors at the University. Yang Bahagia Professor Dr. Muhammad Farooq Abdullah, Vice Chancellor Perdana University. Professor Hannah McGee, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. Associate Professor Dr. Jaspinder Kaur, Dean of Perdana University Graduate School of Medicine. Professor Nandan Vidyalingam, Dean of Perdana University School of Occupational Therapy. Members of the management team, Perdana University and RCSI, distinguished guests, students and colleagues. My name is Christina Liu and I'm here this morning on behalf of Professor Karen Morgan, the Director of PU RCSI program. Regrettably, Professor Karen is unable to join us this morning because of an important meeting with the Hospital Director of HKL. We are very honored to have with us this morning Professor Hannah McGee, who has traveled all the way from Dublin, Ireland to be with us this morning. Professor McGee is the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs in RCSI. Prior to this, Professor McGee was the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at RCSI and was responsible for the quality of degree awarding activities in RCSI's campuses in Dublin, Bahrain, Dubai, and here in Malaysia. In the past, we often have the privilege of meeting Professor McGee during her trips to Malaysia for PU events like the White Coat Ceremony and Convocation Ceremony. But because of the pandemic, it has not been possible to meet with her physically for the past 2 years. Hence, we truly appreciate this privilege and opportunity to have Professor McGee here with us again this morning. So, distinguished guests, students and colleagues, please join me in welcoming Professor McGee to deliver her speech. Professor McGee.
Chair of the Board of Governors, Dr. Fazul, Vice Chancellor Dr. Farooq, Dean of Puxon and Dean Puxon, Prof. Nathan and Prof. Jaspinder, faculty of Perdana University, professional staff of Perdana University, and guests and students of medicine and students of occupational therapy. It is my great privilege to be here this morning. The last time we were able to visit was 2019, so we are truly delighted, Mr. McGrail and myself, to be here with you on this very special day for all of you as students. So good morning to everybody. As I said, we are very honoured and pleased to be able to join you in this special ceremony, and hello also to those who are watching online, parents or family, friends. After COVID, it is my real privilege to be able to be here in person, and all of you to be able to be here in person for this very special part of your undergraduate studies. The White Coat Ceremony began in the 1990s in the US, and we were surprised when we came across it first in Dublin. We thought this is an ancient ceremony, it feels ancient, and something we were surprised we didn't know. But it was developed by a US physician, by a single man called Dr. Arnold P. Gold. And as an interesting part of his history, when he was an undergraduate American student, he came to Dublin in the 1950s and did an elective in our obstetrics and gynecology services. We met him accidentally in his 90s, still attending medical conferences in the US. Dr. Fazul, I'm not sure about doctors in Malaysia, but certainly this doctor in the US is still busy learning about medicine in his 90s. But it's an important lesson for all of us. This one man wanted to really make the point to medical students, and we have now extended it to all of our healthcare students, that this putting on of the white coat was the beginning of your career as a professional. Not the day you graduate, the day that you start to meet your patients and work with them. And so your career doesn't start on the day you graduate, but it really starts now. Now you are becoming a doctor, now you're becoming an occupational therapist, as you put on the white coat and you begin to meet patients. And of course, meeting patients is such a special privilege for healthcare students, one that other students in universities don't have. As Dr. Fazul said to you, you get to work with people when they're sick, when they're worried, when they're anxious, when they're in pain. And it is a privilege we must remind ourselves that societies allow us to take. And it is the responsibility of every generation of students to protect that privilege by behaving well with patients, so that that privilege is there for the next generation of students. It would be impossible to learn how to be a good doctor or a good occupational therapist by simulation alone. So that is really an important societal privilege that we are given as students. The white coat ceremony is the symbol of the clinician, but it is also the symbol of the scientist, the laboratory scientist, the one who seeks out the best evidence and finds new solutions for problems, solutions like COVID, vaccination, and so on. So always remember that your white coat means two things. One is you're a clinician working with patients, the other is that you have committed to a life of practicing the best evidence in medicine and in science. So always remember that it is really important that you remember, no matter how senior you are, that you remember that it is okay, in fact it is your professional responsibility to say, I don't know, in situations where you don't know. I will check out the latest information. I haven't seen this presentation ever or for some time, so it is really important that you remember that your white coat says, I am an evidence-based practitioner. And you are training at an extraordinary time of COVID, when the world has seen the best of science, the best of what university academics and scientists do, the best of what hospital physicians and all of the healthcare professions do. And I think there is a new admiration for health professionals and for scientists, which is very welcome. It's come at a very heavy price, but despite the challenges that you will have had in your training as healthcare professionals because of COVID, and we really applaud your resilience in putting up with online lectures, in putting up with very challenging situations. You are coming into your profession, I think, at a time of renewed respect for the healthcare professions. The public have seen the distance that your teachers and your academics have gone to try to make things better for everybody in society in the past 2 years. So we celebrate the white coat ceremony by asking our students to recite a version of the Hippocratic Oath, the oath that you will say on your graduation day in front of your faculty, your friends, your families. And we think it's important that you recite this first student version of the Hippocratic Oath to remind you that you are already on your way to being that professional. That graduation day is obviously a hugely important day, but it's just one day in that journey for you becoming an apprentice, as Dr. Fazul says, an apprentice healthcare professional, and you will learn all of your lives, whether you retire 55 or 65. I don't know if he knows that in Ireland it's now 67 before you get your pension. And probably by the time you retire it'll be 70 in some countries. But you know, it's a wonderful career, and nobody wants to retire at 55 from a wonderful career. You're just getting good at 55. So I would like maybe to ask the key RCSI students if you would stand to recite your oath after me. Could I ask you first to follow Christina?
Thank you, Professor Maggie. Students, maybe we should start with the white coat donning, and then we will come back to the equipment. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Maggie, for your insightful and inspiring speech. So now, students, we will now move on to the main event, which is the donning of the white coat. In previous white coat ceremonies, students will come on stage, where Professor Maggie or the Dean will don the white coat for them. However, to keep in line with the current SOP, we will slightly tweak the ceremony procedure for this year's event. So students, I will invite you, row by row, to stand up. You will then don your white coat, and thereafter I will call out your name. Let us begin with the class of 2023. May I invite 5 students in the first row to stand up and please don your white coat. From the middle outwards, congratulations to Aisha binti Abdul Malik, and Nivitya Harini anak perempuan Pilibanan, Kelvin Pritivan anak lelaki Norris, Ivania Mary Thomas, Harpreet Kaur. Students, you may be seated. May I now invite students in the next row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Inasjit Singh Daliwal anak lelaki Bajan Singh, Jivanisha anak perempuan Suresh, Kalyuvershi Katiraman, Kiran anak lelaki Gopal. Thank you, students. You may take your seat. May I now invite the students in the following row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Christine Yong, Laila Eman Ahmed Abu Nasser, Laya Eman Ahmed Abu Nasser, Lee Yong Fei. Thank you, students. You may take a seat. May I now invite students in the following row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Lekka Arumugam, Lim Wei Yi, Mahim Rao anak lelaki Kumaran, Manisha Vijayan, Navinderjit Kaur Daliwa anak perempuan Minenderjit Singh. Thank you, students. You may take a seat. May I now invite the students in the following row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Muhammad Luqman Hazim bin Muhammad Isham, Niranjana Turai Raja Singham, Nur Natasha Nazira binti Muhammad Said, Nur Atika binti Aznur, Nur Nadira binti Kamarudin. Thank you, students. You may take a seat. May I now invite students in the following row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Priti Dev Kaur, Rashna Raman, Satishwaran Mahindran, Saveshwaran Utaya Suryan, Sashvini anak perempuan Krishnamurti, Thank you, students. You may take a seat. May I now invite students in the following row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Satesh Kumar, anak lelaki Puneswaran. Sharon Kumar, anak lelaki Uttaya Kumaran. Shugoti, anak perempuan Kamil Mani. Siti Zulaika binti Saha Effendi. Thank you, students. You may take a seat. May I now invite students in the following row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Sophia Maisara binti Safri, Stanley Chai Soon Ho, Tanush Priya anak perempuan Palaniapan, Vanita Shanmuham, Yamuna Rani Perumal. Thank you, students. Now we will proceed with the class of 2024. May I invite students in the first row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Adam Kamaruzaman Junior bin Kamaruzaman, Aina Fatini binti Khairuzaki Muhammad, Amir Osman bin Muhammad Yusuf, Ana Bagis, Arif Ishba Naik. Thank you, students. You may take a seat. May I now invite students in the following row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Dashayani Ganesan, Divya Ashwari anak perempuan Selva Vishnu, Goy Ni Jin, Justin Ong Wei Shen. Thank you, students. May I invite students in the following row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Kubayat Zamil, Li Shui Yi, Li Xin Yin, Lo Zi Xin. Thank you, students. You may take a seat. May I now invite students in the following row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Muhammad Arif, Muhammad Adib, Muhammad Haziq Zainal Arifin, Nik Nur Alia Liana binti Muhammad Sufyan, Nur Haida binti Muhammad, Nur Iza binti Ali Pudin. Thank you, students. You may take a seat. May I now invite students in the following row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Rahayu Rosli, Renesha Sangha, Rishika Jayapal, Ruhiyina Bala Subramaniam, Sahib Singh Sidhu anak lelaki Sunil Singh Sidhu. Thank you, students. You may take it. May I now invite students in the following row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Sam Swan Ning, Samantha Liao, Sashvini Menon Chandra Menon, Sita Ravindran, Shajit Suresh Naidu. Thank you, students. Now I would like to invite students in the last row to stand up and don your white coat. Congratulations to Song Bi Yen, Tan Shi Ying, Yuwita Prasan, anak perempuan Pasatan. Thank you, students. Now that the students are looking so elegantly professional, let us complete the ceremony with the Hippocratic Oath. Let us welcome once again Professor Hannah McGee to lead the oath-taking ceremony. Professor McGee.
Very much now that I have the right sequence. So I should ask you or CSI students to stand. And to repeat after me this oath that you will also then, next time you say this, you will be graduating. As students, I swear to fulfill to the best of my ability and judgment this covenant.
Swear to fulfill to the best of my ability and judgment this covenant.
I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those physicians in whose steps I walk, and gladly share such knowledge as is mine with those who are to follow.
I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those physicians in whose steps I walk, and gladly share such knowledge as is mine with those who are to follow.
I will apply, for the benefit of the sick, all measures that are required, avoiding those twin traps of over-treatment and therapeutic nihilism.
I will apply for the benefit of the sick all measures that are required, avoiding those twin traps of over-treatment and therapeutic nihilism.
I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science, and that warmth, sympathy, and understanding may outweigh the surgeon's knife or the chemist's drug.
I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science, and the warmth, sympathy, and understanding may outweigh the surgeon's knife or the chemist's drug.
I will not be ashamed to say, I know not, nor will I fail to call in my colleagues when the skills of another are needed for a patient's recovery.
I will not be ashamed to say I know not, nor will I fail to call in my colleagues when the skills of another are needed for a patient's recovery.
I will respect the privacy of my patients, for their problems are not disclosed to me that the world may know. Most especially must I tread with care in matters of life and death.
I will respect the privacy of my patients, for their problems are not disclosed to me that the world may know. Most especially must I tread with care in matters of life and death.
If it is given to me to save a life, all thanks. It may also be within my power to take a life. This awesome responsibility must be faced with great humbleness and awareness of my own frailty. Above all, I must not play at God.
It is given me to save a life, all thanks, but it may also be within my power to take a life. This awesome responsibility must be faced with great humbleness and awareness of my own frailty. Above all, I must not play at God.
I will remember that I do not treat a fever chart, a cancerous growth, but a sick human being, whose illness may affect the person's family and economic stability. My responsibility includes those related problems if I am to care adequately for the sick.
I remember that I do not treat a fever chart, a cancerous growth, but a sick human being, whose illness may affect the person's family and economic stability. My responsibility includes these related problems if I am to care adequately for the sick.
I will prevent disease whenever I can, for prevention is preferable to cure.
I will prevent disease whenever I can, for prevention is preferable to cure.
I will remember that I society with special obligations to all my fellow human beings, whose sound of mind and body as well as the infirm. Those are my
I will remember that I remain a member of society with special obligations to all my fellow human beings, whose sound mind and body as well as the infirm.
If I do not violate this oath, may I enjoy life and art, respected while I live, and remembered with affection thereafter. May I also always act so as to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joy of healing those who seek my help.
If I do not violate this oath, may I enjoy life and art, respected while I live, and remembered with affection thereafter. May I always act so as to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joy of healing those who seek my help.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to reciting that at your graduation.
Thank you, Professor McGee. Dear distinguished guests, students and colleagues, please join me in congratulating the PURCSI students, class of 2023 and 2024. Students, you may take your seat. Best performances always come with recognition. Now it is time to present some awards to outstanding students. May I please invite Professor McGee to the stage once again to present the winners with the awards. Professor McGee. First, we will have the Junior Cycle Academic Achievement Prize. This prize is awarded to the student with the best overall academic performance in junior cycle. The winner of the Junior Cycle Academic Achievement Prize for year 2020 is Lee Yong Fei. We have joint winners for the Junior Cycle Academic Achievement Prize for year 2021. The winners are Lo Zixing, Next, we will have the Stanley Monkhouse Anatomy Award. This award is named after Professor Stanley Monkhouse, who was a past professor of anatomy at RCSI in Dublin. As an exceptional teacher, Professor Monkhouse has written many books, including a book on cranial nerves, of which students rate very highly. We have joint winners for the Stanley Monkhouse Anatomy Award for year 2020. The winners are Sofia Maisara bin and Brian Lane Anatomy Award. Professor Lane was a consultant colorectal surgeon at Beaumont Hospital, which is RCSI main teaching hospital in Ireland. Professor Lane is an exceptional teacher who is now a member of the RCSI Department of Anatomy, where he works as a surgeon prosecutor. The winner of the Brian Lane Anatomy Award for year 2020 is Sophia Maisara. The winner of the Brian Lane Anatomy Award for year 2021 is Lo Zhi-Sin. And finally, we have the PURCSI Dean's Award. The winner for this award was voted by the students in the respective cohorts. So students voted for a fellow classmate whom they think had the most outstanding contribution to their student life. This award is given to the student with a sense of selflessness and who has contributed wholeheartedly to the well-being of the class. I'm sure all of you must be excited to know who is the most deserving recipient of your class. The winner of the PURCSI Dean's Award for year 2020 is Kiran Anandla. The winner of the PURCSI Dean's Award for year 2021 is Rahayu. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you so much, Professor McGee, for presenting the awards to the students. Now I would like to hand the stage back to Dr. Sanita.
Thank you, Dr. Christina. Congratulations, PURCSI students of both governments. Well done. May I now please invite Associate Professor Dr. Jaswinder Kaur, the Acting Dean for PU Graduate School of Medicine, to say a few words and proceed with the drawing, along with the opening. Dr. Jaswinder.
Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta. Good morning, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Fadila Suhadi Abdul Malik, Yang Berbahagia Profesor Datuk Dr. Muhammad Farooq Abdullah, Prof. Hannah McGee, and Professor Nathan Vidya. Good morning again, distinguished guests, faculty, students, families, and friends of all our students who are also watching this ceremony, perhaps online as well. Welcome to the Perdana University Graduate School of Medicine, Paksem White Coat Ceremony and the oath taking. Paksem is currently the only medical school in Malaysia and regionally to offer a 4-year graduate entry medicine program for aspiring doctors. This curriculum is based on the United States Medical Licensing Examination, that is the USMLE, as the exit exam. Our graduates are eligible to practice in Malaysia as well as to pursue a US medical residency program and practice in the United States. They have been doing so, practicing both in Malaysia and in the US since the graduation of the first batch in 2016. This white coat is conferred on the Maxim students at the end of the preclinical year 2 of medical school. But due to the current COVID-19 pandemic, the prolonged lockdown periods that we have all been experiencing for the past 2 years, today's traditional induction ceremony will include Maxim students of class 2022, 2023, and 2024. Class of 2022 actually starts their year 4 today, and 2023 is year 3, and 2024 of course is in year 2 and should be finishing soon. The donning of the white coat, it's a symbolic matter of the medical profession. It confers a commitment to the values of being a physician: humanism, compassion, professionalism, lifelong learning, leadership, excellence, and devotion to the well-being of the others. This white coat will symbolize a critical part of your medical education, and it is an emblem of the trust that you must earn from your patients. Wear the white coat with dignity and pride. It is an honor and privilege to get to serve the public as a physician. Thank you. Now we will proceed with the white coat ceremony. I would like to invite the students of class 2024 to rise and don their white coats. I would like to introduce the students of class 2024. Dineshwaran Naidu K. Subramanian, Gayatri Rao, Nurin Sophia Azman, Samantha Jane Boldville. Thank you. You may sit. I now invite the students of class 2023 to rise and don their white coats. I would like to introduce the students of class 2023, Alvin E. Yang Hui Wai, Moza Hussein Sai, Pritiban Ramchandran, Wong Stu Wan, Wong Wei Jin. I now invite the students of class 2022 to rise and don their white coats. I would like to introduce the students of class 2022, Chong Sin Lee, Jason Lim Yang Jian, Lim Chi Fei, Lim Si Zuan, Logapriya Subramanian, Nor Alija Suwada Rosli, Shelley Lam Zing Ching, Vincent Leong Ching Xie. Thank you. Now proceed with the oath-taking ceremony for the Maxim students. I would once again like to invite the students of class 2023, 2024, and 2022 to rise for the oath-taking. We, the Perdana University Graduate School of Medicine, class of 2022, 2023 and 2024. Profess to uphold excellence, diligence and compassion. During our journey as physicians in training, and throughout our careers. Recognizing the inherent precious value of human life, we will sincerely serve the well-being of our patients to the best of our capabilities. We will strive to be worthy of our patients' trust. Through honest conduct and communication, and protect their confidence. We will treat our patients with respect, and perform our duty of care. Uninfluenced by their age, gender, race, sexual orientation, social class, nationality, religion and political affiliation. We will not misuse our privileges as physicians in training. But educate and empower our patients as well as our communities to take good care of their own health. We also promise to dedicate ourselves to lifelong learning. In pursuit of better care for our patients. We acknowledge the crucial importance of teamwork in medical profession and pledge to share our knowledge and work with our colleagues and fellow physicians and allied healthcare providers with mutual respect and a high level of commitment. To the communities, local and global, we pledge to steadfastly maintain our professional accountability and values. As we contribute to the improvement of healthcare. Finally, we will endeavor to maintain a balance between our professional and personal lives. For our own well-being, so that we may most effectively carry out our roles in our medical profession. Today, as we take this oath, we keep in mind our enthusiasm as we first entered the medical school. Despite the many challenges that lie ahead. Thank you. Please sit.
Thank you, Associate Professor Dr. Justin Zakor. And let's once again congratulate the 3 cohorts of Paksam School. Congratulations. Finally, but not least, let's welcome the School of Occupational Therapy, Dean Professor Nathan Maidino. For donate and
Thanks very much, Dr. Sagita. Just distinguished guests, I presume all of you all have known names of everybody up on stage, so I shall not repeat that. But obviously everyone is so distinguished here. But I think the most important thing today is you all are the main guests of honors here, not us, you know, and I think that's important to realize. The School of Occupational Therapy was established in 2013. It's coming to 10 years now. And our first batch graduated, with the first batch we had about 10 students, and they all have flown all over. And interesting to know, a couple of them overseas. Some we have students in UK, we have students in Dubai, we have students in Maldives, and Singapore just hired a couple of our therapists as well. Pascot was developed during the period of time, but maybe I should give you all a bit of history of how occupational therapy started off in Malaysia. That goes back to historically 1957. So it was, I think I must have been about 3 or 4 years old at the time. And in 1957, we were honored by Barbara Tisley, the late Barbara Tisley, who I had the honor of working with her as she was the president of the World Federation while I was the vice president. She came here actually with her husband, who was a dental consultant. And she started off occupational therapy in Sungai Buloh Hospital in 1957 to 1960. She was there setting up occupational therapy service. So historically, it has been there. But if you get back to where occupational therapy started, it actually goes back to the time of war, 1914. It's when it actually developed tremendously and very fast. Today, we have about 600,000 occupational therapists worldwide, and we have got more than 100 countries with the World Federation of Occupational Therapies, and Malaysia is honored to be a full member of the World Federation of Occupational Therapy. Occupational therapy in Perdana University is very unique, and it was really unique in the sense of because we were able to have a cross teaching between RCSI lecturers and lecturers from PATSM. So PATSM students, you are lucky. You have the best of all 3 schools here. This is a field that is novel and exciting area. Not because I am an occupational therapist, I am a dean, as Dr. Faisal was mentioned earlier. You must understand the role that you play as an occupational therapist. You cannot work alone. Neither can doctors work alone. We work as a team, and you must understand that. There is a period of time when you need to understand each other's role, and it's a totally multidisciplinary approach. The demand grows, but the supply is very low. And this is one of the biggest problems that we have noticed lately. I know this very well because I'm very involved with the World Federation. After the COVID-19, there's a big demand for occupational therapists, especially long-term COVID patients who seem to have issues of cognitive and perceptual issues. So it grows. And that's not the main area. Mental health as well has become a big challenge to all of us. And the unique part of occupational therapists is they work from womb to tomb. And mental health is one big area that we all seek to need in that field as well. To my students from PASPA, we stand before me, you need to grow. It's not graduating, and I'm sure in med school, it's not just graduating as a doctor. Every day is a learning curve. And you find that the development of the health field grows so rapidly and fast. And I think the chairman just now also mentioned, we are moving on to digital technology. It's so fast growing that you'll be surprised that the demand it is there even in the digital field. So I'd like to congratulate all of you for coming to Perdana University because it's a very unique university in the sense of especially the PASPAT students. You're the only one who has, in a private sector, the only private university that offers occupational therapy at this moment. Although I know is fast growing, and a couple of other private universities are slowly moving on to it. Remember that you have now, in this year, is also very unique, Act 774 has just been established. All occupational therapists would have to register with an allied health professional body in order to practice. And your licensure goes by, obviously, your professionalism, and your professionalism is your white coat in many ways as well, because you carry yourself. So with this, can I call on year 2, it's year 1 students? Could you please stand, year 1 students, cohort 202102. Congratulations, you can down your whiteboard now. Congratulations to the whole group of you, Elsie, Yao, Ko Hui Rong, Li Jiawen, Leong Xuan Tong, Liu Jun Wei, Ng Wen Zi, Te Wen Zin, and Yo Zin Yi. Congratulations to all of you. Year 2, cohort 202001. Will you please stand? Congratulations to all of you again. Please down your white coat. Congratulations, Amira Aina, Patricia, Hugh Wanzi, Jonathan Ong, Juliana Naj, Ko Ken K, Liu Hugh Singh, Michelle Rebecca, and Suleha Nair. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Could you please come forward so that we can give some awards as well? As for the Passport School, congratulations to the cohorts for your downing ceremony. Now we will have the Passport School Award, the Dean Awards. May I please call upon the first person to receive the Dean Award, Anita Aina. Congratulations. The second student to win the Dean Award, Juliana Nat. Congratulations. We have heard some of the expertise from our honorable guests who have shared their wisdom and also what they have seen over the years. Using evidence-based as a key criteria for us to learn and grow as we move on. We will not be here today if we would not have started the school white coat ceremony from the very beginning in 2011. It is my honor and pride and joy to welcome one of your alumni, your seniors, to the current batch that will be graduating soon, 2019 as well. It is only befitting that we hear from the first alumni, who I heard also won a couple of awards during his white coat ceremony as well. And he will share his experience as he has now joined the experts in the Malaysian field as well. I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Kogla Kohan Yogalingam from the class of 2016. Dr. Kohan is currently the medical officer at Penang General Hospital doing his training in oncology, and he has also gone through his master's training with clinical oncology as well. While Dr. Kohan was with us in PURCSI, he was also the valedictorian for his class and has received the Chancellor Award. And our first very white coat ceremony in 2013, Dr. Kohan was the first recipient of the Dean's Award. Without further ado, Dr. Kohan, we are very pleased and honored to share.
Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta, for that humbling introduction. Good morning, Dr. Fadul, Prof. I think I'll just take it up. Prof. Hanabagi, Prof. Nat, distinguished guests seated on the dais today, Perdana University staff, lecturers, students, and also parents. It's a privilege and honor to be back here in Perdana, especially in this new campus in Wisma Perdana. Huge congratulations to the class of PURCSI, Maxim, and Passport for making their transition into the clinical years of medical school. I remember my white coat ceremony very well, which was held in the older campus in MIPS. At that time, it was SOP free, where I had the privilege to don the white coat right from And interestingly, now, I'm not sure how many of you all, I think, probably the Pakistan batch have been in MIPS, but now it's actually, I had the chance to work as a COVID medical officer in MIPS. Currently, our student hall is a MIPS quarantine acute resuscitation area. So it was very interesting to actually revisit the campus in that manner. And so I've actually prepared 3 take-home points, right? For all students here today. Right, so the first thing is the learning curve. I think every time when we step into from a preclinical to a clinical scenario, there's a huge learning curve, and I'm sure that you have heard these terms. From being unconsciously incompetent, right? Actually, I prepared some slides. I'm not sure they will come up, but let me see. Yeah, no, it's okay. So from being unconsciously incompetent, when you step into, the slides are sharing that, okay. So from being unconsciously incompetent, when you step into the clinical scenario, you will definitely feel a sense of insecurity at the first. And then you slowly make your way of being consciously being incompetent. That means you know what you don't know, and you'll work up this steep learning curve of being consciously competent, right? and you make the transition to be a master or learning every day to perfect your clinical skills and also your clinical knowledge. So when I make this learning curve, definitely I would say it's not easy. It's not going to be roses, right? You'll have to persevere, you'll have to take it day by day, and a simple message is do not try to take it all in one day. I tell all my juniors, and even now, as an oncology trainee in Perdana Hospital, I focus every day to try to learn something new, and then perfect the week on that particular knowledge that I've learned. So if you practice this for the next 3 years in hospital, you'll build a core foundation that will take you through your housemanship and also your medical officer years. Right. Secondly, as a junior officer, I constantly get questioned on the negativity that is looming in the media, the recent death of the house officer, the bullying. But what I would say is that yes, you will face, and I'm sure everyone has faced some point of struggle in their journey from, a clinical medical student, a houseman, and then to a junior medical officer. You will have a point where you will have to persevere and persist and try to overcome your, your fears and struggle. And the MOH has actually they are currently working on to rectify the work culture in KKM, in the Ministry of Health. But it starts with us. So we as junior doctors, we first, now our generation, we should first start to respect everyone. And as Dr. Fadul mentioned, you have to have the humility to your colleagues, to your nurses, to your fellow allied health professionals. Right. Okay. So we need to start. We need to be the changing point, right? And currently we are within the SCOMOS, Medical Officers National Body. We're actually trying to create a better work culture, and hopefully by the time when we all come out as house officers, we would have had a proper appraisal system put in place, and we will create a better work culture together. So finally, it's like, right, when you stride through these clinical years, I hope that you will start thinking about your preferences and likings towards a particular specialty. So when I graduated in 2016, I was told it's too early to decide in medical school until you have completed your housemanship on what you like. Particularly, I think we have SE1 and SE2 students here today. So it's never too early currently in the Malaysian system to actually think about what you like in terms of your preferences, what specialty you think about, because when you've completed your housemanship, you will then be at the footsteps of the State Health Department, and you will need a decisive and objective, something to show for, to immediately get a department that you would need, right? So, in this current era of merit-based postings, you'll be able to secure a job if you have decided what you need and what is your liking. So, in that time where you'll be a royal floater while waiting for your housemanship, I think it's a good time to actually explore what kind of papers, parallel pathway papers that are available, what kind of courses that will improve your CV, your skill set. So that will definitely help in securing the jobs of your interest. So finally, these are my 3 take-home points for you, and I hope that this will be beneficial to you. And I'd like to end with a quote from my medical professor, Prof. Francis Ma. She always says this, despite the struggle, how much of exams that we're going through, there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and you will be going through your career with with good strength, right? So thank you for your time, and it's a privilege to be here.
Thank you, Dr. Coleman, for a wonderful insight. Can you please remain here to show our appreciation to Dr. Coleman? May I please invite Yang Berbahagia Professor Dr. Farooq, VC of Perdana University, to come forward so we can give him the gift that we have prepared for him. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Dr. Farooq and Dr. Coleman. I'm sure most of the students would love to take pictures with you, so please hang around this as well. All right. May I now please invite our distinguished guests to move forward to all the seats available here. Thank you. We have heard from the alumni of PURCSI, and this day would not be complete if we do not only hear but also visualize some of the expertise. Another alumni of ours, Ms. Dashini Tagalabu, who is also the current clinical instructor for Passport School. We are very proud to welcome her, but before she do come onto this and show us wonderful performance, I don't think I would like to justify this, so I'm going to call on Professor Venkatesh. The song title, I don't know if I'm going to do justice to this, is Ekadantaya Varak Tundaya. I don't think I did justice to that at all. But it's based on Lord Ganesh, who is the elephant-headed god. This is the birth that was given to him by his mother, so symbolizing the mother's sacrifice in life and making sure that he has a life. And here, all our Hindu worshippers do start any of the event by acknowledging the god of Shiva, Ganesha. It is through his mother's blessing and the way he worships his mother. The performance today will solely be based on that. Without further ado, we welcome Rajni to the stage.
धीमताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गणेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गणेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदैवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यप्रवराय गुरवे गुणगुरवे गुरुदैत्यकलक्षेत्रे गुरुधर्मजगाराध्याय गुरुपुत्रपरित्राते गुरुपावित्रखण्डकाय गीतकाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतचन्द्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्पाय गन्धवक्ताय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि सर्वराजाय गन्धाय सर्वदानुश्रवणप्रणयिने गुणवते गणपतये एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गणेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गणेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
Thank you for many excellent performance. Now all good times come to an end. Before we end the sessions today, may we please invite the VIPs to move backwards so we can take a picture with all our students as well. May I please invite the VIPs as well to move towards the back end of the hall. Students, you may also proceed so we can take a picture with the necessary VIPs, with the distinguished guests that we have here. Please come, join us. Don't be shy, students. Please come with us.
Itu saya guna
itu boleh sebab dia sambung.
May we invite the students, school by school, PURCSI, may we please invite you forward. Come on. Make your way through. Students, may I please invite you forward as well? PURCSI students, both cohorts, please come forward. May I also invite the faculty from PURCSI to join our students as well. Faculty members, PURCSI, please come forward. Or backwards towards the back and the end of the hall. individually later as well. Can we please move towards the other side? Yes. Dr. Kuhan, are you still around? The faculty members of PURCSI, please join the students with the distinguished guests. Very good. Can we please move from this side to the other side? This side? Can we please move to the other side? Yes. Yes, please. Some can go to the side as well. Please go in a little bit from the right hand side. Ready? Yes, all right. Will you go? Ready? Ready? Alright. Okay, ready? You can smile, you have your mask on. Alright. Here we go. Thank you everyone. Can we please call the next school, Pakistan School? Students, please come forward. The VIP, please remain seated. PURCSI students, you may proceed to level 9 for the lunch that will be served there. Pakistan School. Please move forward. While Pakistan School is making their way for picture taking, we'd like to thank the organizing committee who have worked tirelessly to put the event together. For the students, you are all invited to the 9th floor to have lunch. As for the faculty members, please proceed to the faculty office on the 9th floor. Lunch will be served there. Pakistan School, everyone is here. Thank you. May I now please invite Passport School to come forward. And the Passport lecturers, please come forward as well. Please remain seated. Dr. Lester. Passport School, please come forward with the faculty members as well.
Geng.
You're still happy with the restaurant? Oscar! What are you doing?
Sexy, gorgeous,
Thank you.
Your tie is not center, Justin.
I am not center.
Your thing is not center.
Because you are the center. Hello, can you press? Thank you.
Well, after this we take went out ni lah, my God. So cute, your baju. Gorgeous. Cute, sexy, adorable.
Stunning. Never seen Hollywood bomb actress.
Bombastic.
You can look at things. Ni jadi doktor ataupun? Adam. Another gang lah. Wait, selfie. We haven't selfie.
William. William. Say hi.